Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Company 119's The Coffee Cup. My name is Ryan Gilkerson. I'm lead creative here at Company 119, and we thank you once again for joining us. So you hear a phrase a lot of times when you're talking about websites and website design, a phrase called customer experience. And customer experience is gaining more and more traction as being the key to having a successful interaction and having a successful positive customer impression of your business through your digital branding and your digital site. What is customer experience? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's what the customer undergoes when they interact with your website online. Is it easy to navigate? Is it easy to see on their phone? Is everything they're looking for there? If you have all of those boxes checked off, then chances are the customer is going to leave your website feeling pretty good about what they just saw. If you don't, it might impact more than just their visit to your site on that day. It might impact your relationship with that customer. Virtual Assistant Chad, can you bring up slide 1 for me? So how website design impacts user experience. Let's go to the next slide, Chad. So SuperOffice put together a list of 32 customer experience stats you need to know heading into the new year. There's a lot of great stuff on there. We're not going to go through every stat they published because there's a ton of them, but there are a few that I thought really stood out for me. Next slide, Chad. 66% of all customers say that if they like the brand but not the mobile site, they're disappointed. So think about that. If they like your brand, but they go on their cell phone to make a purchase or to get information and they don't like it, they can actually be disappointed in your brand, not the website. They're not getting mad at the internet. They're getting mad at your brand. 55% of all respondents said that a bad website experience hurts their overall impression of that brand. So if they go to your website and they can't find the information that they need, if they're going to look for a particular deal and they can't find it, if they are going online to make a purchase and they have difficulty doing that, that reflects negatively on your brand in general. That can impact people from walking through the door of your brick and mortar location as well. It's not going to be just about cyberspace. It's going to be how it impacts you directly with your customers. Next slide, please, Chad. Only 1 in 25 customers are going to tell you they're mad about the experience. So it's not just that they just will leave and not even tell you. They will break up with you and not even send you a letter. Think about it. If you bought uncomfortable shoes, do you write that company or do you make a note of it in your head and just never buy that brand again? That's what customers do. A lot of times, customers don't tell you how they feel. It's so easy to just never go back to your site again. How easy is it for people to just never go back? If you watch The Coffee Cup and then you decide one day that you don't like it, you're not going to write me and say, oh my gosh, I just don't like your show. You just find something else to do with your time. Same thing with these brands. If they don't like that website, they're not going to write you and tell you, hey, here's some things I think you should fix about your website. They're just going to find somebody else who got it right the first time, and you're out of luck. Next slide, please, Chad. By 2020, we've talked about this one before, 85% of all relationship management with a brand will be done without human interaction. Look at these ladies at this sidewalk cafe. They're getting served soup by a drone, right? It's getting to that point. It is easy for computers to replace us, robots to replace us on a lot of levels. When it comes to interacting with customers, I just had an experience today with Facebook where I had some questions. Facebook used a chatbot to interact with me. I typed out a message to them and the chatbot said, I don't really read messages, just answer yes or no to these questions. And it resolved my problem without me even having to talk to anybody at Facebook to get my issue resolved. And that's the way it's going to be. 85% of the time, in just 2 years from now, there will not be customer service representatives interacting with you. It's going to be handled by bots and websites. If your site does not have a good chatbot system in place, if you don't have a good user experience in place, it is going to severely impact your business. Next slide, please, Chad. And then 83% of customers are going to websites to get information. They just want to go to the website and find what they need. 56% of all customers leave a website when they have a bad customer experience. No one has time for website issues. 83% of the people that are going to your website just want to find something. They want to know what hours you're open. They want to know your specials this week. They want to be able to find out if you have a shirt in a particular color. 83% of people are just going to find a solution to their problem. 56% of them say if they can't find that solution, they are out. They're not waiting around. They're not writing letters. They're not asking you for help. They're not talking to your chatbot to help navigate your site. If they can't find what they want, they are gone. That's why it's so important for navigation to be handled, especially on mobile sites. If your mobile site comes up and it looks funky, if it's hard to get around on your phone, people are going to leave. They are not going to wait around for you to get it right. And our last slide here, virtual assistant Chad, where do sites get it wrong most often? This is a little graph that shows some places where people get it wrong. The number one place where websites get it wrong: incorrect display or difficult to navigate. That's over 90% of the issue that people have with sites. So think about it. People are actually going to use the site. Start there with your web design. Don't overthink it. What happens is a lot of times companies will design a site. A lot of people that do it on their own and haven't gone through an agency, they'll design a site that they think looks really cool, has a lot of cool bells and whistles, but if people can't get around the site, they don't care. 90% of the problem that people have with websites is that they just can't find what they're looking for, and it's too hard to get around. So we hope that you've learned more about how customers interact with your website and a little bit more about what they're thinking when they're leaving your website before you finish your first cup of coffee. Then your competition will all day. Thanks for joining us today on the Coffee Cup.